here? Will they just decide, hey, we've got 5 battles to do this, let's just figure out which one is which, that'll be the one we win on. It's a bit strange though, as we saw in that opening shot, to see a mouse go east side. Most of the time you would expect that to be all mouse to the west, or maybe down the middle, somewhere in that zone, but Tornado's not going to play the typically expected strategy, and it looks like NSS is picking up on that. Yeah. They're picking up, because it's 4 mouse, a bad chat, and 2 bad chat APs. That's not normal. Usually you'd see something else mixed in. 113s, you know, you'd usually see something else to say.
4 mouse is quite a lot on Muravanka, really. It's not going to give you much opportunity to be rotating backwards and forwards across the map, which we do see a lot of the time on Muravanka, actually. Teams will sometimes, they'll look at the 2 flag, they'll see what they can spot, maybe blind fire some bushes to try and find the scout tank. And if that doesn't work, they rotate back up to the 1 flag and try and push in there. But that's not really an option for Tornado. They need to get somewhere, and they need to commit to somewhere, because it's going to take them far too long to be rotating backwards and forwards across the map. Yeah, and then taking a moment just to highlight again what NSS is bringing in contrast. Because there's those 4 mouse, there's 17k hit points, but look, you've got only 1 mouse, the only heavy tank on the side of Not So Serious. The rest are all mediums and a tank destroyer. So this is going to be a situation that could unfold similarly to what we've seen numerous times before, where you bring a fast mobile lineup on an open map, but you run yourselves straight into a bunch of heavy tanks, and it doesn't matter. Bat chats don't put out enough damage against the mouse, just mouse pack to really be effective. And we'll see if that's going to work out here, if the positions Tornado have taken are going to be strong enough as Just Cause and Coca-Cola begin focusing on Apple Wow. Apple Wow has been caught out here, but these 2 bad chats, they need to make sure that they pen pretty much all of their shots, because they just about have enough damage between them to get the kill onto Apple Wow, and they do manage to do that with their last shot available. Both the bad chats now on reload, and this is going to be the time for Tornado to try and bring things back in their favor. They have got a moment of opportunity, and they are going to take it. The bad chat AP starting to push forward here. Lowo under a lot of pressure. Also, Shotnik, he's not taking the damage at the moment. They're focusing on the bad chat, but he's going to be next. And for the moment, it's actually favoring NSS. As I say that, though, another kill goes the way of Tornado. It's 5 versus 5. But look at this. Coca-Cola on reload, Nadine on reload. Shotnik in the STB1 is now down. That's a consistent fire tank off the battlefield. And where is Beowulf? He hasn't gotten to do almost anything. He's outside of the fight, and that's exactly what Tornado wanted. They wanted the Bat Chats to run in, just waste their shells, and once they wasted them all on Apple Wow, bring in your own fast mediums, clean it up, move on. Now, look at it. You've got 1 big heavy versus 3 big heavies. You've traded out a lot of lighter tanks on either side. That's what Tornado's been going for. NSS understood the risk. We're gonna have to see if it pays off. That's really where we're at right now. It's hard to read. Hit points, Tornado's got it. I'm just trying to figure out where else do we see the separation? One positive advantage here as well for Tornado is that they have 4 tier 10s as opposed to 3. NSS, of course, have the UDES still alive as opposed to one of their other tier 10 tanks. But the good thing for NSS themselves is that they have 2 bat chats available for them. So they have the outplay potential on these mouses. Griffin does take down Coca-Cola there, so now they only have a single bat chat available to them. All right, but with small numbers like this, it is only 1 bat chat. But 1 bat chat can do quite a lot here. Yep. Unfortunately, of course, the cards are still stacked against Nadine to be able to perform well, because here's the thing, bat chats against mouse, you can do well, especially if you can close the distance, but you can't dependably, as we saw highlighted by our wonderful analysis just before the match, you can't just depend on penetrating a mouse all the time. It's tricky, it's difficult. Yes, you can know all of the weak points and how the dynamics work, but functionally making that work is of course always harder than it looks. So, jumping back in, Nuclear, little blind fire, and a little bit of a reset, a lull in the match for going to reload. I think Tornado at this point are just slowly trying to push forward, get a little bit of control across the map. They do have a lot of time to play with here, so it's not like we need to see any sort of rash decision-making coming out. No quick pushes, nothing crazy out of the ordinary. Yeah, don't hobble yourselves, don't wear anyone out, don't string yourselves out. Just straightforward, good tanking should win the day here for Tornado. And I like this from Tornado as well. They're going to get a couple of tanks, maybe even 3 even, onto that flag. At least Server and Diodor will be jumping on there, and that is going to force some sort of a response here from NSS. But Nadine in a very, very good spot over there to get some resets in that bat chat.
Yeah, that might be Tornado walking into a situation that that works out against them instead of for them. Nadine's cut a good 30 seconds to a minute out of the normal response time to this kind of cap pressure. It actually looks like he's not going to go for flank fire from the east. He's actually going to move back to the south. That says that Not So Serious isn't confident on the support fire and tank presence in the south, and also probably the tell that Nadine would give away by firing.
I think they're a little bit worried as well that if he gets spotted or if he fires a shot and is giving away his position, that they're just going to push right onto Beowulf, and that's exactly what's going to happen here for Tornado. They don't even have the information of where Nadine is. Well, now they do, I suppose, but they're going to push in anyway. Beowulf is going to probably go down here. It's just going to be a question of how much damage Nadine can get done. He needs to take down his opposite number in the bat chat, and he will be able to do that. Actually saves his teammate as well. Beowulf, not for too long though, as Server will be able to drop him. So now 2 versus 3, but it's 3 Mouses here for Tornado, and they could all be outplayed by a bat chat and a Udez, but the key is Nadine surviving. That is an amazing tracking shot though.
That was perfect. Almost sinking a win right there, but Nadine has managed to save the hopes for Not So Serious with that play. He decided, I know they're going to push south. If they spot me, if I fire, I'm going to tell them, or I can just go. They're going to bank on it without necessarily understanding where I am. I can come in to support. So Nadine has to have a lot of props here.
Yeah.
Well,
this is all on Nadine right now. As soon as he comes off that reload in 4 seconds or so, he needs to get the reset because Monty's not going to get there in time. And I'm not sure Nadine is going to have an easy time with this. He does spot out those tanks and he will fire the shot. It does connect. It does get the reset. I think it was only a tracking shot there, though. I don't think he did any damage with it. And he's fired off 2 shots already with no damage done. 3 seconds on the reset timer here. Nadine having a real trouble, and he actually goes down there as well. I think that's going to be that. Tornado should be able to close it out here, and I believe they have just managed to cap that one out. And there you go, 7-2 is the victory for Tornado over NSS. They're going to be putting themselves through to the grand finals against Sting.
And in stunning fashion.